Hi and welcome back. So what we're going to do is make our own sludge wash to do the bottom of this model. It's already had a clear coat to protect the paint, and I've clear coated in the engine bay as well, so we're going to do a sludge wash over the engine and all over this bottom, just to bring out some of these details. But as I'm sure a lot of you will know, buying washes is quite an expensive business, or can be, if you want quite a few of them. So I have these soft pastels, make sure they're not oil. So I got what, 32 of these colours, used some previously, and it cost me a couple of quid for this, so I can potentially make 32 different coloured washes. So there's 3 ingredients and I'll go through step by step. So I'm going to be doing a dark wash, so I've got my dark pastel, bottled water. Don't want to use tap water because it can be impurities and bits of bacteria in tap water. So bottled water, no, it's good stuff, and just standard washing up liquid, nothing special. So the first stage, just get the model out of the way for now, is I need to grate my pastel. If I had longer pastels, because you can get much bigger, I'd just use my X-Acto on and scrape it, but I haven't. So I'm just going to use the fine grater on an old grater. Get yourself a grater for a quid, couple of quid at your pound shop. Don't go in your kitchen and let your wife or girlfriend catch you nicking the grater and grating up pastels. I'm sure it won't go down well for you. But all you need to do is grate this. I'm doing it onto a piece of paper so I don't lose any. About half of that should be sufficient. As you can see, I've got a very fine powder, so just put it into one of my pallet pots. Some water into another of my pots. And a little bit of washing up liquid. So what we're doing is we're essentially making 2 stages of the 3 stages of a paint. We want this to be about the consistency of semi-skimmed milk. So I add some water, just a cheap paintbrush, start mixing this together, and you can see it doesn't want to mix the water as like water adhesion, so we just take some of our washing up liquid, just a couple of drops, stir that in, and it breaks down that water adhesion. I still need some more water in this. because these are soft pastels, and it is important to use soft pastels, they're basically just coloured clay. So it powders up and it will dissolve in the water. We'll take that a little bit thinner still. I could have probably used about half the amount of pastel I've actually used, so you can see how cheap it is to make these washes. Yeah, that's a nice consistency now. So I will just wash my hands after grating that pastel before we do anything else. Right, so I've got my model back in now. So if I just brush this over, into these parts, and I've made far too much. Some on our brakes, here, our exhaust, turn over, and I'm just going to put a bit over parts of the engine. Now this needs now to be left to dry for about half an hour. What we've basically done, we've made a thin paint without a sticking medium. So we've got two parts of the paint. We've got the pigment, which is the pastel that we've grated, and we've created a flow medium out of the water and the washing up liquid. So, and then the third part of the paint is something to make it stick. So I'll give this half an hour of drying time, and then we'll come back to it for the next stage. I'll give this a clean at the time. There's probably no point keeping this paint because you make it yourself, and well, it's cost pennies. But you've seen how much I've got left from that little piece of pastel, so I've got to use a fraction of that. So it's literally for pennies instead of pounds. But we'll leave that half an hour and I'll show you the next stage. Right, so it's had half an hour dry now. So it's now time to remove this sludge. So got my kitchen roll. I've poured a bit of my bottled water just into a cup to make it easy, so I can just dampen a little and going from the front coming back, because I want to have the flow of travel. I just wipe, we can see this sludge being removed, and if we look we can see we're getting next to the edges where I can't get into, it's being left. So another piece of my towel, careful not to leave bits of tissue. And if we want to get into these places, so don't want to leave it too much, just use a cotton bud. And you can see how easily this is all coming, and I'm just getting a little amount of black left to give myself a weathered look. So I will finish this and then we'll have another look at it. So here we are after cleaning that down. As you can see, most of it I've removed, but we've got a few bits in the bottom here. You can see along the exhaust we have some grime building up here and grime building up here. We've got a little in our exhaust, and it's just added that touch of realism, just a bit of interest, and broke up just them solid colours where quite a lot in these recesses. So this just needs now another clear coat to seal it all in, but I'll let it dry a bit first because obviously there's bits of water got on there. But that's a homemade sludge wash. What I paid, if I remember rightly, £2.99 for 32 colours. I've used half of one, so what's that, about 5p of pastel, 4 drops of washing up liquid. I bought a bottle of water for 25p. I've used 3 or 4 cotton buds and a few pieces of kitchen towel. And I have another 31 different colours of washes I can go to if I want. So that's homemade sludge washing. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you, bye bye.